Okay, so I'm here with Chris Riley, and we're talking about GitLab Commit, which is a conference that, of course, is coming up on August the 3rd and 4th. Now, Chris is a DevOps and tech advocate who works for Splunk. Splunk not only is one of my favorite companies, they're also a partner of my favorite Formula One team, McLaren. So it's great to have you on here, Chris. You have a talk coming up measuring the success of your DevOps with pipeline analytics.
Mm-hmm.
What's that talk going to be about, and who do you reckon is going to benefit from coming in and hearing this?
Yeah, well, I like that you brought up the McLaren because it's actually part of the narrative that I use about it's hard to go fast if you don't have a safety equipment to allow you to go fast, right? Then it's just terrifying. And I think that one of the things that if you quantify most of the DevOps conversations you've had, a lot of times what you talk about is velocity. It's just go fast, go fast, go fast. Now, the thing with velocity, and I agree that that's the outcome, higher quality, faster, is that I've seen it not sustain well. So a lot of organizations will build for velocity without thinking of like, how do we make sure that we maintain this? And how do we know if we're doing a good job or not? A lot of times they'll do it as an afterthought, and then it's too little too late. And so pipeline analytics is a tool that is not complicated. It's a practice that is not complicated, but you do it today. Because without doing it today, you don't have a baseline to really measure your entire delivery chain from the point a feature is defined to the point that feature is running in production. Thus, you have no way of measuring success. And like I said, it's not tremendously difficult in terms of who should be interested, everybody in the engineering org, because there is data that can be surfaced that helps you optimize, measure, understand better how you do what you do.
So, I mean, a lot of, I think what I'm hearing in here is that these DevOps pipelines are set up with the best intentions and are working well, but there's this missing component with maintenance because we don't have visibility over kind of the analytics and what's working well. Is that
Yeah.
kind of along the lines?
Yeah, and then of course there's another, cliche that the thing with these cliches, it gets really old when you hear them, but they tend to be correct, which is you can't measure what you can't see. And it's always boggled my mind why organizations haven't thought about this. The tools in your tool chain produce data. Get that data, visualize it in a meaningful way. Now, the meaningful way is the hard part. So even though I could tell you that every engineering team should be investing in pipeline analytics, deciding what to measure is difficult, and deciding what to focus on. Like, do you focus on the compliance and security lens by trying to spot secrets, for example? Or do you focus on the release velocity lens, say how fast is our engineering team going, and how does that release cadence relate to bugs or rollbacks, things of that sort?
Yeah, I do like the secrets you threw in there because I'm all about that. But do you feel that sometimes one of the missing areas of DevOps is that there's this missing understanding throughout the whole team? Because a lot of what I'm passionate about at the moment is DevSecOps and shifting left and bringing everybody involved in security and everyone involved in operations. But I mean, there can just be this big black box of mystery sometimes. Like, does providing analytics help everyone kind of get that visibility and get on board with what we're all trying to achieve?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I like the DevSecOps lens as well. And I think when you start to think about the two first use cases in DevSecOps, which is build more secure applications and secure the software factory. And secure the software factory, as you know, is like what's all over the news right now. Delivery chain attacks are scary, and they're becoming more prevalent. And so for both of those, how does the security team have confidence that you're actually doing it? They don't speak the same language. So developers think, hey, I'm really good at my visibility silo. I have amazing Prometheus, Grafana, dashboards. I understand them. I can open them up, understand them. The security professional can't understand them. So what happens? They stop you. Eventually they say, okay, we got to stop everything. We just need to know, are you doing vulnerability scans? How are you managing your secrets? Do you even know how you're managing secrets? Which is what a lot of organizations don't even know. And so that becomes very problematic. And any developer who hears the term shift left, and they're like, you're just giving me more work. That shift left, the customer of shift left is a delivery chain, not the developer. So it doesn't necessarily mean that everything should be thrown in their lap without enabling them. They have to be enabled. And the thing is, developers don't like to get interrupted. One of the big metrics that I'm very fond of is this metric of unplanned work. How much time, it's a measure of time that the developer is spending on stuff that is not building new functionality. Well, developers are part of the problem because by creating these visibility silos that you mentioned, they contribute to their own unplanned work because somebody will come knocking on the door due to them speaking a completely different language. And that's their responsibility. And so part of pipeline analytics is creating that unified understanding so that I, as a security professional, can open up a dashboard, know what's going on without interrupting you.
That sounds absolutely fascinating. Well, Chris, I don't want to give too much of the presentation away, but I think it's going to be a really fundamental one for everyone to understand. And what I love about it so much is that what you said before is that this isn't overly complicated, but it can be quite powerful in its delivery and what it does. So Chris's presentation on DevOps Success, Pipeline Analytics, is on Tuesday, the 3rd of August. So make sure that you're registered for GitLab Commit and have that one marked down in your calendar. It's going to be an awesome presentation. Chris, I'd like to thank you so much for your time here today, and can't wait to see the presentation.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me, Mackenzie.
Awesome. Thanks, mate.